Hey there folks, I'm Sheppard and I'm an artist. In fact, this is one of my pieces of artwork. The thing is that being an artist, I stand on my feet in front of the easel for many hours. Sometimes I have to cut it short because of the numbness in my feet. This started experiencing this about 7 to 8 years ago or so, where I started realizing there was no feeling in my feet. I would walk down the hallway, and before I knew it, I was making a left because it was throwing off my balance, which is not a good thing because I'm a tennis player. So I went to every single medical doctor, experts in their field, and they all said the same thing: we can't help you. So I went to Mayo Clinic and spoke to them in Scottsdale, Arizona, and they sent me back a letter saying, we can't help you at all. There's no drugs for that. So that was that. So the thing was, I had to learn how to drive again because my feet were getting continuously numb. And in fact, one day I actually had to pull over, and my sweetheart had to take the wheel because I had no feeling in my right leg. So it got worse and worse. I went to another fella. He said, this is what we can do. I went through a protocol for 2 hours a day for 2.5 years to help my numbness in my feet. And guess what? It didn't get any better. So I meet my friend, he's my webmaster, and Mike, and he's telling me that he's wearing this thing called a patch. And I said, how long have you been wearing it? He said, for a month. I said, oh, does it work? Mike says, yeah. I said, why didn't you tell me about this beforehand? Because he knew of my numbness. He said, I wanted to make sure it worked, which I think is kind of cool. So fast forward now, I mentioned before I'm a tennis player. I'm 79 years old, and I'm about a 4.0 player, if that means anything to anybody. But the thing is that the reason I'm there is because I'm actually a half a step faster when I'm getting off the mark when playing tennis. And my other buddies, two of us, as a matter of fact, have decided that the X39 was going to be the patch for them as well. And so we're all kind of like doing that. So the good news is, after 10 weeks, and it's 10 weeks today, and this is the first day of January, New Year's Day, my numbness is in reverse. How I can tell is because my balance, believe it or not, I couldn't do that in the past. If I wanted to put on a pair of pants, it was hold on to the wall in order to get my leg through it. Nowadays I can actually do it without falling over, which is kind of cool. So when I was driving a car, I had to get used to the more numbness. Now I have less numbness, and I have to learn how to drive again. It's kind of funny, but that's the symptoms I have. And so I started with the X39 for 2 weeks. I saw improvement, and I thought, well, now I'm going to patch up, is what they call it. And what I actually did was I went on the Y-Age group. There's 3 of them, and then an X39 and an X49. The good news is that I'm feeling really good. There's an overall sense of well-being, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. Thanks for listening to Sheppard.